When people talk about reggae and dancehall legends, names like Bob Marley, Vybz Kartel, Beanie Man, and Buju Banton always come up. But when it comes to money, longevity, and global dominance, one name stands above the rest: Sean Paul. So how did Sean Paul become the highest-paid dancehall artist alive, and one of the most successful Jamaican artists of all time? Let's break it down. Before we get into today's video, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to All About Jamaica, your go-to channel for Jamaican entertainment, culture, history, travel, and everything you want to know about Jamaica. We post new videos every week, so don't miss out. Now let's get into it. Sean Paul Henriquez was born in Kingston, Jamaica in 1973. Unlike many artists who came from purely musical households, Sean Paul's background was unique. He came from a middle-class family, attended Wolmer's Boys' School, and even considered a professional career in water polo, representing Jamaica at the junior level. But music kept calling him. In the late 1990s, dancehall was raw, local, and heavily Jamaican-centric. Sean Paul didn't try to change that. Instead, he perfected it. His early music stayed authentic, gritty, and rooted in the culture, earning him respect locally before he ever thought global. This foundation mattered. Sean Paul's breakout moment came in 2002 with the album Dirty Rock. This album didn't just succeed, it exploded. Songs like Gimme the Light, Get Busy dominated global charts, including the Billboard Hot 100. Get Busy hit #1 in the US, something almost unheard of for a dancehall artist at the time. What made Sean Paul different? He didn't water down dancehall, he packaged it correctly. Clear hooks, energetic rhythms, lyrics that international audiences could vibe to while still sounding Jamaican. This album won a Grammy Award, instantly positioning Sean Paul as not just a dancehall star, but a global music force. One of the biggest reasons Sean Paul became the highest-paid dancehall artist alive is strategic collaborations. Sean Paul didn't wait for trends. He became the bridge. He collaborated with Beyoncé, Rihanna, Sia, Dua Lipa, Clean Bandit, Tory Lanez, Enrique Iglesias, Major Lazer. Every collaboration put dancehall into new markets: pop, EDM, R&B, and international radio. Instead of chasing relevance, Sean Paul positioned himself as the go-to dancehall feature for global artists. That meant feature fees, publishing royalties, international exposure over and over again. While many artists depend heavily on streaming today, Sean Paul's real money comes from touring. Sean Paul has toured Europe, North America, Africa, Asia, Australia. Dancehall is a live performance genre, and Sean Paul mastered it. He performs at major festivals, stadiums, corporate events, international carnivals. These performances pay top dollar, especially outside Jamaica. Touring consistently for over 20 years, is a massive reason why his earnings surpass most reggae and dancehall artists. Longevity equals leverage. Another key factor in Sean Paul's wealth is ownership. Sean Paul maintained strong control over his music rights, publishing deals, brand partnerships. Instead of quick cash grabs, he built a long-term catalog that continues to earn money decades later through radio play, streaming, licensing, film, TV, and commercials. That catalog alone is worth millions. Most artists fade when trends change. Sean Paul adapted. When EDM rose, he collaborated. When pop shifted, he adjusted. When streaming took over, his older hits found new life. Songs like Temperature, No Lie, and Cheap Thrills continue to generate revenue year after year. Sean Paul didn't fight change. He rode the wave. That adaptability kept him relevant across 3 generations of fans. According to Wikipedia, as of early 2025, Sean Paul's net worth sat at around $25 million, but we wouldn't be surprised if it was higher. So why is Sean Paul the highest paid dancehall artist alive? It comes down to global appeal, smart collaborations, touring consistency, ownership, longevity, brand discipline. While others focused mainly on the local market, Sean Paul exported dancehall to the world and got paid globally. Sean Paul's story proves that Jamaican music can dominate the world without losing its identity. He didn't just make hits, he built an empire. One thing that often gets overlooked in Sean Paul's success is timing. The early 2000s were a turning point in global music. Hip-hop was dominating charts, and audiences were more open than ever to sounds outside the United States. Dancehall's energy, rhythms, and swagger fit perfectly into this era. Sean Paul didn't just make great music. He arrived at the exact moment the world was ready for it. Earlier dancehall legends laid the groundwork. But Sean Paul walked through the door when global radio, MTV, and international clubs were finally paying attention. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like, share, comment, and subscribe to All About Jamaica, your ultimate guide to Jamaican entertainment, culture, travel, history, and facts you won't hear anywhere else. Let us know in the comments. Who do you think is the most influential dancehall artist of all time? We post new videos every week, so turn on notifications and stay locked in. Thank you for watching.